Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Krishna, Jai Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna, Krishna, Jai Krishna, Jai. That in the entire universe, the highest place is Mathura Mandal, because their Lord is taking his appearance. And in Mathura Mandal, the highest place is Vrindavan, because their Lord performs so many wonderful varieties of pastimes. And in Vrindavan, the highest place is Govardhan. As we were hearing the other day, Haridas Avarji, he's the bestest of Govardhan. The highest place is Sri Radha Kund. And beyond that, there isn't any other higher place. We are now in the most sacred place of the entire universe, Sri Radha Kunda. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came on Braj Prikrama 500 years ago, first of all, he was in Bahulavan, where our Padayatra passed through there yesterday. And he was observing the beauty of the forest of Braj and seeing the cows and deers. And he was going along the path and he was chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Completely lost in trance of ecstasy. Just nearby here, some villager told the devotees who were walking with him that this is Aritagram. Original name was Aristogram, named after Aristasur. As soon as Mahaprabhu heard the name Aritagram, he immediately left his trance and he began to ask everyone, where is Radhakund and Chamakund? Where is Radhakund and Chamakund? But they were lost, nobody could tell him. Now why, hearing Aristogram, which is named after Aristasur, did Mahaprabhu ask about Radhakund and Chamakund? First of all, you remember Aristasur, he came in the form of bull. So this is a very sweet Madhurya place. So what does Aristasur have to do with Radhakund and Chamakund? I'll tell you. One day, Sri Nandanandan, he just got all dressed and decorated for doing Ras. When he heard the news that this Aristasur was coming, and he was just tearing up the dust, the land of Braj with his hooves and smashing the houses with his horns, and his tail was slashing the clouds and creating huge disturbance in Braj. So he was all dressed up for Ras. So he rolled up his sleeves, tightened his belt, and got ready to fight. So that Aristasur charged him. He grabbed him by the horn, swung him around, and threw him. And again that Aristasur, regaining his consciousness, he got up and he again charged, and Krishna just swirled him around again and smashed him on the ground and stomped on him like a sponge, wet sponge. And he passed stool and urine and passed to the kingdom of Yamaraj. So Krishna killed that Aristasur. So then he called Srimati Radhika and all the gopis, now we can do Ras. And Srimati Radhika said, Hare, you have killed a bull, that is a big pop. You know pop? What all the little boys, they like to drink, soda pop. No. Pop means sin. That is a big pop, sin. We can't be associated with such a person as you. You're contaminated with this sin. And then Nanda said, Hari Sakya, hey Radhe, that wasn't a bull, that was a demon in the form of a bull. But he was a demon and I killed him. And Srimati Radhika said, well, we heard from Purnamasi that one time Indra, he killed a Brahmin. He was a demon, but he was in the form of a Brahmin, and he got reaction. This, what do you say, this lady with, what do you call that disease of the lungs? Pneumonia came, coughing blood, came chasing, he got reaction. He may have been a demon, but he was in the form of Brahmin, he got reaction, didn't it? So then, Thakurji asked, all right, so what do I have to do to become purified from this sin, from this big pop? So Srimati Radhika, she consulted with all her Sakhis. Then she said, you will have to take bath in all the sacred places of the universe. Sri Nandanandan said, Hare Sakya, hey Radhe, that will take a long time if I have to go throughout the whole universe. How I can be away from you so long? I will call all the sacred places here on one place and take my bath here. And Radharani Sakya said, oh, Nanda, don't try to tease us. We don't believe in your magic. Don't try to fool us. And with that, Nanda went on the other side here, and with his right foot he stomped a big hole in the ground. And he played on his flute and called, and all the sacred places of the universe came in personalized form and bowed before him. And he said, any service, Maharaj? He said, yes. You give your introduction, you chant your mantra, and you pour your water in my kund. So they all came forward in front of the gopis. Because Nanda was, with his eyes, he was saying, see, I told you. They all came, they gave their introduction, they chanted their mantra and poured their water in his kund. So many sacred rivers came and places came, so that it was almost very late at night, almost midnight, by the time they finished pouring all their water. Then he took his bath, and then he told Srimati Radhika, hey Radhe, now you all come in the water, we'll enjoy Jal Krida, water pastimes. And Srimati Radhika said, Are, this water is contaminated with your sin. How we can come in this water? We will make our own kund. So Srimati Radhika came on this side, and she broke her golden bangle. Golden bangle we call kankan. So in the middle here, many years ago, they cleaned, about 15, 12 years ago, they cleaned, we saw in the middle there's a little kankan kund. We might get to see a picture of that later in Prikapa. Let's see. So she broke her kankan and she began to dig. All the Sakis broke their kankans. They began to dig and dig and dig and dig. They found one depression where Mr. Sur had dug his hoof into the ground. There was a hole already there. So they began to dig in that depression. And they made little kund. And when it was finished and Nandanandan came, he saw and he said, just take it. Hare Sakya, hey Radhe, your kund is very beautiful. But there's no water in it. So Radharani said, we're going to bring water from Manasi Ganga. Some of us, and they made big line, and they were going to bring millions and millions of pots. Now, Nanda, he doesn't like to see even bead of perspiration come on Srimati Radharani's brow. So he made some signal to all those personified holy places. They became one person. And that one person, he went there and he began to offer so many beautiful prayers to Srimati Radhika. And Srimati Radhika, she said, all right, what do you want? And he said, we thought that the perfection of life was to be associated with the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. But now, seeing your wonderful divine qualities, we can understand perfection of life is to be associated with your lotus feet. Because first of all, do you think that Nandanandan got purified when he took bath in the water of all those sacred rivers? Do you think so? Huh? Do you think he got purified when he took bath?
No.
Somebody says yes?
No.
Yes? Somebody says yes? All right, you're wrong. All the sacred places became purified because Nandanandan took his bath in them. This was an excuse to purify all the sacred places. But now they're saying, we now know the real perfection of life is to be associated with the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. So Radhika, she sent little katak sidelong glance at Nandanandan because she knew that this is all his plan. So she said, and what is your desire? He said, we want to come in your kund also. So she smiled at Sri Nandanandan and they made hole. You see, right where that white chhatri is, you can see there's hole underneath the buckwheat there. So the waters of Radhakund and Shamakund mixed together. And Sri Nandanandan, he told to Srimati Radhika, hey Radhe, your kund is very, very beautiful. And I will always come to take my bath in your kund. And Srimati Radhika said, hey Kanna, your kund is also very beautiful. And we will always come and take our bath in your kund. In this way, although Radhakund and Shyamakund are eternal, they have this wonderful pastime of appearing. Therefore, when Mahaprabhu heard that this is a ristogram, or that time they called it a ristogram, he began to ask everyone, where's Radhakund, where's Shyamakund? But nobody could tell, they were lost. So being the self-same Brajendanandan Shyam Sundar, Brajendanandana say, Sachi Sutta Boiloje. Self-same Brajendanandan Shyam Sundar. He sat down, we'll see that place later, and he could understand that there was two rice paddy fields here. One was called Kali, one was called Gauri. Kali means Shyam, and Gauri means golden. So that was Shyamakund, and this was Radhakund. So whatever water was there, he took his bath. We used to have beautiful painting inside of our temple room, many of you maybe remember. So he took his bath, and Prabhupada has kept all of those beautiful prayers. These are the prayers that Mahaprabhu sang when he was taking bath in Radhakund. You can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita and learn them, and come here the Sunday night and sing all of these prayers. What is it? Sabha Gopi Haite Radha Krishna Da Prayasi Taite Radha Kunda Priya Priya Rasarasi. Sabha Gopi Haite, of all the gopis, there's one who's very dear to Krishna. In the same way, this kund known as Radhakund is just as dear to Sri Krishna as Srimati Radhika. Yata Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Data Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnu Rantyanta Balava. Yata Radha Priya Vishnu, just as Radha is very dear to Vishnu or Krishna, Tasya Kundam Priyam, Tasya Kund, that kund is also just as dear to Sri Krishna. Sarva Gopishu Saivaika, Sarva, of all the gopis, Vishnu, Atyant. When we want to say very, 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 then we say Atyant. And Balava means beloved, who is very, very beloved of Vishnu or Krishna. Hey Kunda Nitya Krishna Radhika Rasange, Jala Jala Keli Kore Tire Rasarange. Hey Kunde Nitya Krishna. In this kund, Nitya Krishna always. Radhikara Sange, in the sang of Radharani, Radhikara Sange. Jale, in the water, Jalakeli, they're doing water pastimes, splashing and having fun in the water. Jalakeli, or Tire, like we know Jamuna Tira, Tira means bank, on the banks, Rasarangi, they're doing Raslila. Ek kunde se ek bara kore snana, Tana Radha Sama Prema Krishna kore dana. Ek kunda say, in this kund, say if anybody, ek bar kore snana, one time takes his bath. Then what happens? Tana Radha Sama Prema Krishna kore dana. Krishna gives dan. Just like you see, all these Brahmins are waiting to take dan from you. Just like my friend, this big tall fellow in the back, this mosquito dust. He's come to suck your blood. So, but Krishna says, Krishna Koridana, Krishna gives charity. What is that charity? Radha Sama Prema. Just like we know, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samaham Sarva, I am equal to everyone. So Sama means equal. Radha Sama Prema, that prem equal to Srimati Radharani's prem. Krishna Kode, Krishna gives that in charity. Now these Brahmins all want to take money from you, but Krishna, he's giving charity. Tanu Radha Sama Prema, Krishna Kode Dana. Kundara Mahima Yena, Radha Rama Mahima. Kundara Madhuri Yena, Radha Rama Madhurima. The glories of this kund are just as glorious as the glories of Srimati Radhika. And the sweetness of this kund is just as sweet as the sweetness of Srimati Radhika. So now, remembering all of these things, that this is the most sacred place in the whole universe, and remembering all of these beautiful prayers that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered, Very carefully, sometimes step can be slippery, so very carefully we'll come down, take some drops of water on our head, and pray to Srimati Radharani to please somehow make us advance in Krishna consciousness. We are nowhere, but she is very kind. She's the compassionate side of Lord Krishna. Raghunath Das Goswami, who lived here, he says, Deha Karunayat Vidravat. That Radharani's whole body melts in Karun. Karuna means compassion. Now, ordinary people, our hearts melt with compassion, but Radharani, her whole body melts with compassion. So she's very, very compassionate. She'll have mercy on you. So remembering all of these things, you carefully come down, take some of this water on your head and sprinkle it, and take some in your mouth also, and pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada ki! Jai! Jai! Sri Radha! The holes of your body. Jai Krishna, Jai Radha, Jai Radhe, So now we come to Purana Radha Krishna Mandir, old Radha Krishna temple. So later we'll hear about how Raghunath Das Goswami excavated the kundas of Radha Kunda in Chandrapur. As we know, Mahaprabhu sent them, all the Goswamis, to discover these places. So he himself discovered this Radha Kunda in Chandrapur to develop it. He sent them. So when Raghunath was excavating the kund, then they found this very, very ancient deeds of Radha and Krishna. So since they're very old, old means Purana. Like, you know, the 18 Puranas, so the old history. So this is Purana Radha Krishna Mandir, old temple of Radha and Krishna. Very, very beautiful. The oldest deity in Radha. Very nice temple. And you see the Lord is taken care of very nicely. This is my good friend, Chinta Haran Goswami. You know Chinta? Worries. And Haran means to take away. This is the name of Krishna who takes away all of our worries. Chinta Haran. Chinta Haran Goswami. Last year somebody gave nice food. You're sitting long. Murli. Krishna has got nice food. And he's also, of course, now cold season is coming, but you see somebody donate nice fan for Thakurji. But so many devotees are coming and no fan is here. Anybody wants to, he's always asking if anybody wants to do a fan for this old Radha Krishna temple, you can see me afterwards. You can see what we can do. Otherwise you can do some small donation. This dust, even one grain of this dust of Braj, you cannot purchase with whole opulence of Vaikuntha, not even one grain. It is so powerful, even Mukti becomes Mukt by putting some of this dust on his forehead.
this.
This was donated to Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, who's from Manipur. So this belongs to the king of Manipur, as a matter of fact. The king is pictures for something. Sunlight is coming from the east, so we're just on the western side of Radhakund. So the first rays of the sun strike this place. So he built this beautiful temple here. So now it is run by our Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj and many Manipuri devotees. Mahanadi Swami is also staying here for Kartik, I think. And many devotees are here. So you have a nice place here in Radhakund for the devotees to stay and relish this place. One time, Devi Shakti told me that they went to Prabhupada and told him that we heard that in Radhakund we can get land very cheaply. Prabhupada said, yes, that is a good idea. You get land and make a temple there. So, yes, Prabhupada, we can make a temple. Yes, you make a temple there. Then Prabhupada said, so then what will you do there? And the devotee said, well, Prabhupada, we'll preach. And Prabhupada said, Radhakund is not for preaching. Radhakund is for relishing. So you can come here and relish Radhakund for a few days to charge your batteries to go back to your Prabhupada Desh and distribute Radharani's mercy to everyone. Srimati Radharani ki! Prabhuji, we have to. So you can come and relish Radhakund. So now we call Gopalji Mandir. This was built by the king of Manipur. So you know our Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj is from Manipur. That king got dreamed that he should build a temple where the first rays of the sun fall on Radhakund. So we're directly on the western side of Radhakund, and you see the sun is coming on that side, and the first rays will naturally come on western side. So he built a very beautiful temple here, and he has given it over to Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. So we'll all do Prakama of Gopal.
Sri Anurananda Kund. The second road leading to
Saparivisasa Ishwar Salipa Gesti Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Srinivas Acharya ki Jai. Nam Acharya Harilas Thakur ki Jai.
मोदीपासी पुष्पबिंदों की जय, नीलाचल धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ देव की जय, बलभद्र देव की जय, सुभद्रा माई की जय, इंद्रदुम्न सरोवर की जय, बहुदधिक श्री राधा गोविंद की जय, श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय, श्री राधा दामोदर की जय, श्री राधा जय।
This is Radha Gopinath in Samadhi Mandir. Near to him is Janambi Devi in Samadhi Mandir.
During that time, Gopinathji was staying in Kamivan. And she came into the temple and she was dancing in kirtan with all the devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So Gopinath leapt off the altar, lifted her up and jumped back on the altar and slammed the door. And when the Vaishnavas opened the door, then Janava Mata was no more to be seen. So in Braj Leela, Janava Mata's eternal. In this way, on this we see on Thakurji's left side, this is Anang Manjari, and on right side, this is Radharani. She has given over her place to Anang Manjari in this temple. Everybody can darshan to Mahajana. So therefore we have beautiful Radha Gopinath temple. The Gopinath gave darshan to Mahajana. This is a very special place. And because in Braj Leela we know Mahajana is Ananga Manjari. So you see here also we have Radha and Krishna and Ananga Manjari. But in her Braj Leela form, Mahajana is Ananga Manjari. I won't be able to speak because Kirtan is going on there. This is the Samadhi of Raghunath Das Goswami. So we'll go back there, we'll circumambulate, and because the Kirtan is going, we can't even disturb and speak there. So you just take darshan inside, beautiful painting is there, we'll talk about that painting later. This is the Samadhi of Raghunath Das Goswami. And then we'll go, after we circumambulate, we'll pass the Kirtan party, come outside and go here to Mahajana's sitting place. So everyone can leave some small donation. My friend, he's allowing us also to take photos here in this temple. Beautiful deities of Radha Gopinath. So we can leave some small donations. After taking darshan, go back around the Samadhi. You'll see it. Bathing yacht, her own private bathing yacht.
Samadhi, Chaitanya Charitamrita class. More than 700 devotees listen to Chaitanya Charitamrita class.
She came here and wandered around Braj, comforting all of the Vaishnavas. She discussed many things with Jiva Goswami. Sometimes modern people, they like to tell some story about Jiva Goswami meeting Mirabai, where they say that he told her, no, I can't meet with you. I can't meet with any woman. And she said, well, what other man besides Krishna is there in Braj? So, anyway, we can tell this story is totally bogus because Jiva Goswami, he not only met with Janava Mata and discussed many things with her, he also accepted, she gave suggestion that they put, because there was just Krishna deities here, Sham Sundar and Govinda Dev and Madan Mohan like that. So she suggested that you make some nice brass Radharani deities and place them next to Krishna. So he not only listened to her suggestion, he even accepted her suggestion. So this story that he wouldn't meet Mirabai, totally bogus. He was not afraid to meet women. In fact, he was not even afraid to accept very good suggestions from Das Goswami and others were staying here. And underneath, this is a tamal tree here. And other tree, this big one, this is a bakul tree, just like Siddha bakul, you all heard of. This is bakul tree. I don't know if he has flowers now. But Tamal tree, he only gets his flowers in the right after Gaur Purnima festival. He gets his flowers. You have to just stick around for a couple more weeks. So underneath here, Gopinath appeared to Ma Janava when she was doing her bhajan. This is her sitting place. On the other side, the Vaishnavas, out of respect for Ma Janava, they made private bathing ghats. When we circumambulate, then you'll see there's private stairway where she could take her bath. All the Vaishnavas. You see how nicely they took care of ladies in those days. Described in the Goswami literature, one word is there in Sanskrit, pallava. Pallava means freshly grown leaf. So if you want to get some idea of what is the touch, of course these are not freshly grown, but if you find some fresher ones, such soft touches there. I showed this to Mahapati Swami one time. He's one of those very fortunate persons who Prabhupada personally showed him how to put tilak, running his finger. He said Prabhupada's fingers felt just like this tamal leaf. You just rub your finger softly on this, you can get some idea what is the touch of Lord Krishna like. Anybody else want to do kirtan? Go down and take some water on our heads. This is Shama Kunda on our right side here. So we'll go down and take some water of Shama Kunda on our heads.
This is Radha Kunda. Aap naam hai?
Bhai Babu, if you ever get any money, print books. So this is the very spot where this divine command was given that started the Sankirtan movement all over the world. If you get money, print books. So this is a very, very most sacred place in Radhakund. Now we want everybody to stick together. We're going to start going through very narrow ways and tiny little places. So if you don't stick together, then you'll get lost somewhere and you'll be wandering around and we'll be at Kusum Sarora having swimming while you're still wandering around wondering where we all went. So everyone try to stick together. Here, we heard how Radharani promised that she will always come and take bath at Shamakund. So this is called Manasa Pavanagat. Manasa Pavanagat. It is also known as Pancha Pandav Ghat. Because in 2 minutes, we'll see the Bhajan Kutir of Raghunath Das Goswami. So at that time, Raghunath got some idea to excavate the kund. So when the work was going on, there was some trees in the way of making everything very nice. So he marked those trees. He told the next day that we will cut these trees. So in the night time, Yudhishthira Maharaj came and said, "Hey Raghunath, myself, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev, we're all doing our bhajan on the banks of Radhakund in the form of trees. So we should be very careful. We should not cut any tree because there may be somebody doing bhajan here. So in the morning you will see us, you will recognize." So in the morning Raghunath came and he saw these 5 trees. Now this was one of them here. Now he's also gone into the apricot lila, and even whatever's left is about to also become apricot. But they were doing their bhajan in the form of trees on this banks of Shamakund. Colored fruits. Tiny, tiny, tiny little burgundy colored fruits are on this tree here. This is called pilu.
Pilu, pilu.
He's got the unripe ones here. So, these pilu fruits are very, very dear to the Kahur boys in Braj. There's two types of pilu trees. This one here, which gives these little fruits. Then there's another one that gives fruits in the rainy season. He's got sort of a long leaf. This has got sort of a roundish leaf. And then there's one with a longer leaf. He gives fruit in rainy season. Big burgundy colored fruit. This one gives a little tiny one now in Kartik time. When we go past here, then you might find one or two here in little tiny fruits. You see all the monkeys, little monkeys where they're plucking them. Now, just beyond this tree is the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur, who wrote what song we sing every morning?
Guru Vastak.
Guru Vastak. Everybody gave the right answer. Somebody sometimes they samsara prayers. But we don't want to sing to samsara. Samsara means this blazing cycle of birth and death. We don't want to sing to samsara. We don't want to glorify samsara. We want to become free. This is Guru Vastakam. 8 prayers glorifying spiritual master who will free us from samsara. So this is Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur's Bhajan Kutir. And this pilu tree used to talk to him and tell him about all the wonderful pastimes that happen on the banks of Radhakund and Shamakund. Just like one time, because this is the noontime yoga pit, meeting place of Radha and Krishna noontime at Radhakund. The Madhyakalin Yoga Pit is at our Brindakund, Guptakund in Nandagaon. That is, that is Pratakalin. This is the Madhyakal, Radhakund. And Sham evening Yoga Pit is there, Radha Govinda Temple in Vrindavan. So here in the noontime, sometimes Radha and Krishna meet. And this particular day, they were having water fights. Sham Sundar was splashing and Radharani was splashing and all her bangles are going ching, 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 and she's splashing and Sham Sundar splashing. But this rascal Sham Sundar, he just began to splash right into the beautiful lotus petal eyes of Srimati Radhika. And her beautiful eyes became pink and closed, she could not see anything. And so finally, Radharani just dipped under the water and disappeared. And all the birds and trees, every being in Radhakund became quiet. Nobody was chanting the Jai of Sri Krishna because they saw that he was a big cheater. Everyone became silent. They were so unhappy with this rascal. Then Sham Sundar, he couldn't see Radharani anywhere and he was looking hither and thither. Then he saw that all the bees, they have left the lotus flower. Now bees, they never leave lotus flower. Lotus flower has got special honey that is called makarand. And bee, he loves that makarand so much. He goes there to the lotus flower and he's drinking, evening time is coming because we know lotus flower opens in daytime. In night time, he closes up. And that bee knows, he can see petals are closing and closing, but he's just drinking that makarand and drinking, he doesn't care. He gives up his life to drink that makarand. Because that lotus petal closes, flower closes all around him and he dies by morning time. But he doesn't care. Like that, we just want to get the nectar of lotus feet of Krishna. We don't care anything else. We have to become so absorbed in hearing Krishna Katha that we don't care. Let me die just hearing this Krishna. I don't care. Even if I have to fly all the way to India and there's so much danger, I don't care. I'm going to go there and get this nectar. Just like that, he doesn't care. Lotus petal is closing around him, he's just going to drink. But Krishna saw a very amazing thing. Bee has left the lotus flower. And he saw there amongst, because on one side of Radhakund there's blue lotus flowers, another side is pink lotus flowers, one side there's yellow lotus flowers. Amongst the yellow lotus flowers, he saw all the bees were going to one place. He saw amongst the golden lotus flowers was the beautiful golden face of Srimati Radhika. And her breath was so sweetly scented, all the bees have come to that place. So then Krishna, he dove under the water, he came up right beside Radharani and just gave her a big embrace. And then he slipped under the water and he disappeared. Then Radharani, she couldn't see Krishna anywhere. Then she saw that all the monkeys, just like you'll see so many monkeys today, so all the monkeys were there on top of the trees and they were all looking at something in the water like that. You'll see how the monkeys... Hey, so then she saw amongst the blue lotus flowers, there Sri Krishna was hiding. His beautiful blue lotus face was hiding amongst So like that, this tree told Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur so many wonderful pastimes that happen here on the side of Radha Kund and Shama. We can't imagine. Why is crooked? You have seen hook for catching fish, machli. He's got crooked. When fish will bite, then he can't get out. So same way, our Shyam Sundar, he's crooked. He goes in your heart and you can't get him out. So you better be careful. By going on these predicaments, he'll get screwed in there very deep and you will never get him out again. So his kund also, he's crooked, his kund is crooked. Tell me this was Bhima. Anyway, this tree here, this is a pilu tree. This is pilu tree here. But if you bite on them, you'll break open the seed and burn your tongue like chili. Because as we go up, first place we'll see is he spoke to him and told him all the different pastimes that happened here in Radha Kund and Shama. So we'll see his place, and next to that is the Bhajan Kutir of Raghunath Das Goswami. Now we'll hear all these nice stories about Raghunath Das. So first, you take some water on your head from this Shama Kund. Now we're sitting on the banks of this Manasa Pavan Ghat. In a little while, Radharani and all the Sakis are coming, so we have to get out of here quickly. So you take some water. Somebody throw some up here for me. And you can go either side of this pillow tree, and we'll go up here to the corner.
Sima Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Biswanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhajan Kutir.
There's a nice shade here. We'll stay in the
Raghunath Das Goswami.
Raghunath Das, Bhajan Kutir.
नाम की तुम्हारा नाम की This is Biswanath Chakravarti Bhajan Kutir beside Shama Kund, near to Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Bhajan Kutir.
The Shama Kund is very, very irregular shape. Radha Kund is nice straight. One thing is that Shama Kund from above, it looks like the right foot of Lord Krishna. Other reason that it's a little crooked is when Raghunath Das, who used to stay here, this is the Bhajan Kutir Raghunath Das Goswami. When he got this idea that people are going to come from all over the world, from Mauritius, from France, from Germany, from England, from
Holland,
South Africa, from Peru,
Holland,
from Holland, from so many places, Slovenia, and all these places. So he thought we should expand the kunds a bit. So when they were excavating, there was some trees in the way, so he marked those trees for cutting down. And at night time, Yudhishthira Maharaj came and said, Prabhu, myself, Bhim, Arjun, Nakula Sahadev, we're doing our bhajan on the banks of Shama Kund, so you please don't cut us. We're doing our bhajan in the form of trees. So in the morning you'll recognize. And so in the morning he saw all the Pancha Pandavas were here. The last tree was here. You see now he's also disappeared. All of them, most have disappeared. So this is also known as Pancha Pandava Ghat, other name. The last one, old neem tree, was here. He's also gone back to the Aprakat Lila. So after Mahaprabhu left, then Raghunath Das Goswami, he came and stayed here in Radha Kund, like I said, for almost 45 years. And his bhajan, it is described that his rules and regulations were just like lines on a rock. If you have a rock, you can grind, you can grind, you can polish, those lines will never go away. Not like us. We'll stay up late on Bahulastami night up till the midnight. The next morning you won't see us at Mangalarti. But Raghunath Das Goswami, his bhajan, his lines are just like on a rock. Very strict. And just eating a little bit of chach, buttermilk every day. And chanting most of the time, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that time there was no bhajan kutir here. I told you before at the Samadhi that you see carefully that photo. Now you see here, big painting is also here. You'll see later as you come closer. So one day, Raghunath was sitting there chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You can see in the photo, tiger and tigress has come. Big fruit. Before, and this was jungle, so big tiger and tigress was there. So he wasn't paying any attention, and tiger and tigress has come to drink water. Most of you can't see up in this corner, Sanatana Goswami has just come from Chakleshwar. He's seeing this whole scene. The Raghunath is sitting there not paying any attention. Tiger and tigress has come. And up in this corner, Lord Krishna is there giving protection. He's standing guard. So then tiger and tigress went away. Lord Krishna, he winked at Sanatana Goswami and disappeared, and Sanatana Goswami came running. Hare! What kind of bhajan you're doing? You're sitting here chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You don't pay any attention. Tiger and tigress is coming. And you're chanting Hare Krishna, the Krishna, please let me serve you. And Krishna is doing your service. He's coming and standing guard like some chokidar. What kind of bhajan is this? So then Raghunath, he fell on his feet and he begged forgiveness. Yeah, I'll be more careful. So others, you see in this picture another thing. That one time Raghunath, he was sitting there, he was chanting in the noonday sun. This is just 10 o'clock sun. And this is Sarat season, the autumn season. That summer season sun, that is 50 degrees, 127 if you know Fahrenheit. And they say only mad dog and Englishman come in noonday sun. And Raghunath, he doesn't pay any attention. Hare Krishna, Hare, he's just sitting there. So you can see in the photo who has come. Srimati Radhika has come holding her palu over his head, holding her sari just over his head. So that time Sanatana Goswami also came from Chakleshwar. He saw this whole scene. So Radharani, she's holding her choli like this, her sari like this. You can see her choli is all wet. She's sweating and sweating and sweating, standing there in the sun like this. So Radharani, she saw Sanatana Goswami, she smiled and disappeared. Then Sanatana Goswami came running. Hare! What kind of bhajan you doing? Hare Krishna, the Radha Krishna, let me serve you. And you're taking service, you don't pay any attention. Now it is noonday sun. Radharani is holding her sari, she's sweating so much. You see the ground behind you. It is all wet from her sweat and her footprints have come in the ground. He saw in the mud, Radharani's lotus footprints were there in the mud. Immediately he fell on that mud. And Sanatana Goswami says, look, if you don't know how to take care of yourself, then you make a bhajan kutir and you do your bhajan inside a bhajan kutir. So they started, this is first bhajan kutir. They started from here, this bhajan kutir system. So this is bhajan kutir of Raghunath Das Goswami. The next door is bhajan kutir of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Raghunath Das Goswami.
Raghunath Das Bhajan Kutir.
Yankuti, beside Syama Kund.
Very deep in his meditation. One time he became very ill. He had big stomach ache. And all the Goswamis, they're very worried. Oh, Raghunath Das is very sick. You know, he's got fever and his big stomach ache is there. He's crying out in pain. So they brought one Ayurvedic doctor. Ayurvedic doctor came. He's feeling. This person is suffering from eating too much sweet rice. Everyone knows Das Goswami, he takes a little palm of chach, you know, buttermilk. After they churn butter, churn the yogurt. Here in Braj we churn the butter, butter from yogurt. Whatever's left over that is called chach, he's just taking a little bit and drinking, little leaf plate. Like we served you out in samosa today that side, he's taking that much. So where he got so much sweet rice that he got stomachache, and Raghunath, he became a little shy and he blushed. And then they spoke. He said, well, today in Leela and Braj, I was meditating in Braj Leela, they made nice feast for Radha and Krishna, and so much sweet rice was there, and I ate so much sweet rice. Even in his physical body became. One time his servant, Biharidas, he was very much worried. Raghunath only eating this one leaf cup full of chaat every day, that's all. So he went to Saki's Tali. That is the place of, do you know? Don't say that, Chandravali. So he found there the leaves on that tree were very big. He could make nice big leaf cups from them. So he made some of those leaf cups like that, big leaf cups, and he brought Chach, this buttermilk, to Raghunath Das. So Raghunath, he saw this cup, he was just looking like this. Just like little boy. Just like one time in Los Angeles, we gave Prabhupada one of those umbrella, you know, that it goes up like this, and you push the button and it goes boop, boop, like that. So Prabhupada, just like little child, he was just going boop, boop, and then he pushed into the ground, and then go boop, 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 boop. So Raghunath, he was just looking at this cup like this, just like a little child. He said, where you got this leaf cup? He said, oh, I was in Saki's Tali. He said, Saki's Tali. He immediately threw that on the ground. He said, don't you ever bring anything from that place, or I will fast until death. So then Biharidas, he was very much frightened. You know, he brought something from Chandravali's place. So he's on side of Radharani. So maybe 10 years ago, again, they fixed up everything like that it is going on. This was Das Goswami's service for all of the Vaishnavas. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami ki! So you can just... So unfortunately we all can't fit in here, but I hope you can hear outside. You want to point it to the outside? Of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, where Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita was actually written. In the old days we used to come here, this place was all just filled with cobwebs and broken down and very unkempt. But some hidden Vaishnava, he doesn't want his name known, maybe from Calcutta, we don't know. He remodeled this whole place, very, very, very nice. That time when they were remodeling, they came to us because one Babaji here, he was artist. In his meditation, he saw this beautiful picture. He saw this beautiful picture of Krishnadas Kaviraj sitting under a tree writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he made a painting of this scene that he saw in his meditation. So they asked us if we had anyone in ISKCON who could copy this painting. So Mother Archa Vigraha from South Africa, she immediately volunteered. And if you see the original and you see this painting, now every artist has got his own style. But if you see the original painting and you see this painting, Mother Archa Vigraha has copied completely the style, you cannot tell which is which. She has completely given up, she has surrendered completely to this picture and given complete, real copy of this beautiful painting. So this place, we can't imagine how sacred this, because after we know Bhagavad Gita is the primary school. Up to the high school. Then beyond university is Srimad Bhagavatam. And postgraduate is this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We can't begin to imagine how holy this place is. This is the place where this Chaitanya Charitamrita was written. And it is so sweet, the language. Every verse is most amazing because generally